Blog Talk Radio. Survival Radio Network. This is Survival Radio Network. And thank you so much for helping us to reach over 2 million downloads. You're listening to The Paula G Show, where we expand the mindset through worldwide conversations. You can stay connected with us by visiting paulagvoice.com. You can join the Paula G Show group page. There's also a business page entitled Paula G, and of course my Journey with Paula G business page as well. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a variety of playlists to include the Paula G Show, Fit at 6 p.m. Beyond, and of course Lady Wisdom After Midnight, which is now available. My book is now available on Amazon and paperback and Kindle. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can email me at paula@paulagvoice.com. Shouts out to D. Ferg for the opening theme to the Paula G Show. We thank D. Ferg so very much for his musical contribution to the show over the years. He was with us a couple of weeks ago, and we really, really enjoyed the conversation with him, just talking a bit about what is happening worldwide. He lives in New York, and so he was giving us his perspective of living in New York, really in the heart of things that were going on, and then also his perspective as an African-American man living during these times, and just also how he's been navigating the COVID-19 season. We've all been navigating all of these different things, but here we are. We keep waking up every morning, and that is indeed a beautiful thing. I tell you all each and every week that time is precious. It is the one thing we cannot get back. So I always, and I continue to appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and listening to the Paula G Show and giving us an hour of your time, and also for tuning into my Journey with Paula G on Thursday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on WATC2, that's TOO.TV, right here in Atlanta. Thank you all so much for tuning in, as well as my underwriters. Oh, my gosh, they've been riding with us, and they've been so supportive. Creekside Dental, the Good Acting Studio, my coffee shop at East Lake Survival Radio Network, my homegrown folks right here, Clicks Photography, and Klarque Garrison. So much love and so much appreciation to him, and I'm going to be sharing a few memories and words of appreciation after the break. Lusu Designs as well, Positive Power 21, who are the producers of My Journey with Paula G, which airs on WATC. LB Tax Service with Brian Jubert. We thank you all so very, very much for your support. Well, at the time of this broadcast, we are experiencing some thunderstorms up and down the East Coast. You know, during the summer hours, it's usually hurricane season for the Mideast, the South, Midwest. So if we go out, hang in there. We'll be right back. Speaking of hanging in there, I hope you all are hanging in there through the season. At the time of this podcast, we're going through some major challenges in not only this country, but worldwide, just really dealing with some challenges. And I'm will share with you all toward maybe the second half of the show. Just give you some encouragement, some tips possibly on how to navigate this season that we are in. But right now, I want to bring on a young lady that she has been hanging with me. She's been so loyal, faithful, and just excellent at engineering. We talked with Mike last week, my engineer, over the past 5.5 years, and it was great reuniting and talking with him. But this lady jumped in to the role. She has not missed a beat. So I want to chat a little bit before we go to the break with my engineer, Rosalind Cooper of the Cooper Connection. Rosalind?
Yes, hi, Miss Paula.
How are you, dear?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
I am fabulous. I am fabulous. How is life in your part of the world?
I'm hanging in there. It's a bit chaotic at the moment, but I'm just trying to piece things together, figure everything out, and not try to overload myself.
Exactly. During the season, we really have to pace ourselves because it's so much and it's so incredibly overwhelming, which is, just yet another reason why I appreciate you. And I just wanted to have you to come on and chat with you a little bit, just to thank you so much for engineering, for jumping into this role. I know broadcasting is one of the things that you enjoy, and it's a passion, and it's something that you love to do. But even the things that we love to do in the midst of, going through a rough season, those things can become laborious at times. So just really appreciate your support. Appreciate you being there every week and engineering the show. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to share anything that you'd like to share, to encourage the audience, or to maybe give us an update on some of the things that maybe you're thinking about doing moving forward.
Yes, I just want to say to everybody, just hang in there. I know things seem a little chaotic and rough right now, and it just seems like it's getting from bad to worse, but just keep hold to your faith, keep going, don't give up. Trouble doesn't last always. And
Amen.
It's funny, like, this is the last show, and I'm just thinking about my future. What I plan on doing. I kind of want to start a blog chronicling,
that's nice.
My mental illness journey.
Yes.
Yeah,
that will
so I'm
definitely
thinking
help
about
somebody.
Yeah. I'm definitely
that'll
thinking
definitely.
about Oh, thank you so much, caller.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You were saying you were a blog, and what else? I thought there was something else that you were mentioning.
Yeah, and just continuing with my acting, going to audition, being a background actor. I know because of COVID-19, they have some restrictions on background actors, but they're still casting them. And, to continue doing that, I'm still in Ohio. I'm kind of stuck here for a minute, but when I get back to Atlanta, hopefully everything, I could just pick right back up where I left off.
Yeah, and we pray that for you as well, and that has been something. Even in this season, some of us have had to make adjustments and leave maybe our homes to go and either stay with parents or family or care for parents and family. So, you've done that as well. So that's to be commended as well, to pick up from your home here in Atlanta. Yes, absolutely. And to go back home, and I know your dad had a great Father's Day this past Father's Day.
Oh, yes. Yes, we had a great day.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and we're going to continue to follow you and support you in all that you do. And, as with anything in life, what we always hear, when one door closes, the other one opens. We always have to constantly reinvent ourselves and, continue to seek opportunities, and then to take whatever it is that we've learned from the past, to take those things and utilize them as we're moving forward into the new ventures. So, much success to you on the blog, much success to you in your acting as you start on those respective journeys. Other doors of opportunity will open for you. Stay encouraged, stay positive. I know it's a challenge sometimes, even under normal circumstances, but stay
Yes.
encouraged. And you're great things are ahead of you.
Thank you so much, Miss Paula, and same for you.
Thank you, thank you.
I
All
I
right.
just want to give
Oh,
you
go ahead.
I
Uh
just
huh.
want to say thank you so much for giving me this platform and giving me an opportunity to share some of my stories. I really appreciate it.
And I know you helped somebody because you are not, you are so welcome because we all go through life with our various challenges, and it takes a lot of courage to be transparent, to share those challenges in hopes that it will help somebody else, that someone else will hear something and say, you know what, I'm not alone. I know we hear this all the time, but until it really strikes you, individually, where you really can hear something and someone shares that, and like, you know what, I'm not alone. Somebody else is going
Right.
through this, and they're sharing how they're getting through it. So just know that you help some folks.
Thank you so much.
You are
That's what I
welcome.
intended
Yeah, I know you did.
to
I
do.
know you did. I know you did. All right. Well, look, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Oh no, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. We are going to take a break, listen to a bit of Paula's perspective, and I've had essential care. I think I had, yeah, essential care running for a while because I feel it's just so relevant, and I wanted to just share that one last time with you all this evening. This is our last live show, but not our last show, and I'll explain that on the other side of the break. But we are listening to a bit of Paula's perspective. Thank you. Essential care, commercial break, a little bit of music. Nobody But You, I believe. Y'all know I love my music, right? Y'all know that, right? Nobody But You by UV Hayes. And then when we come back on the flip side of the break, I'll share some thoughts, some memories, how this all got started, some shouts out to Clark, and, I'm just going to share. All right? All right. This is the Paula G Show right here on Survival Radio Network. We'll be back in a few moments. This is Paula G, and this is Paula's Perspective. In times like these, self-care is essential. Our country is in a state of turmoil, and regardless of the justification or lack thereof, there has been an avalanche of death and dying that is suffocating the heart, body, and spirit of anyone with a conscience. Fathers who will never come home again, mothers who will never see their sons again, children who are left without a parent and are struggling with the loss, much less understanding the reason why. And to add fuel to the fire, many agitators see fit to fan the flames rather than seek ways to extinguish an ultimate explosion ignited by a ball of confusion, hate, and self-gratifying agendas. This takes a toll on the decent men and women who are struggling to deal with it all. Whether these tragedies hit home or we are just observers from afar, one has to respond to the images of grieving families, grieving friends, colleagues, and a child who has draped himself prostrate over the casket of his deceased father. So how do we go on? How do we move on? How do we deal? How do we nurture and help those around us deal with the hurt, the stress? How do we help those around us deal while we ourselves are hurting, stressed, and weakened by it all? Questions we are all seeking to answer, but healing starts with self-care. We have to take care of ourselves before we can effectively care for others. It's the concept of the airplane oxygen mask. As much as you want to make sure your loved ones are covered, you must first cover yourself. Now, does that sound self-serving? Look at it this way. If you are busy making sure everyone else has their oxygen mask, how effective will you be to them when you pass out? You get my point. We as humans were not created for the level of stress that we deal with on a daily basis. That's why self-care is so essential. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. Some anticipate it will be more of the same. But prayerfully, that will not be the case. However, if it is, you have the tools you need to navigate your way through the battlefield. Now, God never said life would be easy. He simply told us He would never leave us or forsake us. You are never alone. Be encouraged. This is Paula's Perspective with music by Kevin MacLeod.
If your company needs a voiceover professional, call me at 646-504-1376. I'm Dane Reed. That's 646-504-1376. I'm there for you when you need live announcing for events, company voicemails, commercials, professional voiceovers for important videos, voicemails, and anything else your company might need. Call me at 646-504-1376. Interested in doing voiceovers? I also do consultations.
Looking for a cafe with a home-like appeal where all who enter feel like they are part of something? Visit My Coffee Shop, located in Eastlake, Atlanta, Georgia. MCS has a full breakfast and lunch menu, offering both hot and cold options, and is home of the amazing basil lemonade. But don't forget their assortment of freshly brewed coffees. Come on by at 2462 Memorial Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30317. We're pretty sure My Coffee Shop at Eastlake will become your coffee shop, too.
You may have heard the phrase, deals are done on the golf course, but do you know how that happens? The book 9 Holes, 9 Goals will provide hole-by-hole guidance on what to do and mistakes to avoid during a round of business golf. Pre-order your copy today at 9holes9goals.com, because closing deals on the golf course is no longer just a phrase. You can do it too.
SRN Survival Radio Network.
And that is the one and only UV Hayes with Nobody But You. And she and her husband have been guest on this show, and she has shared her journey through music. She's actually an educator, and she works full time, I believe, in the Detroit area as an educator. And music definitely is her passion, as you can hear. And I believe I first heard that song a few years back when I started Chicago Steppin'. And those of you who know the dance, you know it's a beautiful, beautiful dance, and there's nothing like having a beautiful dance, a beautiful song, beautiful music, and beautiful lyrics. And that was the first time I heard that song, and it just captured me. And I had to reach out to her and invite her to be a guest on the show. And she came on and she shared the journey of that song. I think it was a dedication to her husband, I believe is what it was. But Nobody But You by UV Hayes, and we thank her so very much for her contribution to the Paula G Show. And I believe at this time we're going to hit the pause button because I believe we have a special guest joining us. Good evening. Is our guest with us? We'll check back in just a moment. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And I believe this is my good friend who helped me get this whole journey started. This journey called radio about, 6 years ago. I think it was about 6 years ago. I was actually at a Hank Stewart event, and he was broadcasting at the event, didn't know who he was, and he was sitting there, he was broadcasting, and I was just very fascinated by what was going on. I went over and I struck up a conversation, and, we started talking. He was asking me about why I was there. And, I was part of the Stewart Foundation and was there, to help the youth because it's all about the youth. And I get teased a lot about working with the young people, but I was there. And we just struck up a conversation. I remember him asking me, would you come on air and share your thoughts, share why you're here, kind of give us an update. I did that. We started a conversation. We talked. After that, we exchanged numbers. We talked for maybe a couple months after that. And I remember him asking me, have you ever thought about radio? And, I've shared that story with you all about how, years ago, it was always in the back of my mind, but I never had an opportunity. So over the course of, what was it? 3 months maybe? Because, I overthink stuff. I think it was over the course of about 3 months that, we conversed back and forth. And, here's the thing, y'all. Whenever you're looking at starting a journey and doing something, the conversation that Klarque Garrison and I had, I would say, is really a conversation that needs to be had because he shared what his expectations were in regard to what he was looking for in a radio host. And I shared with him what my expectations were for radio. And once we had that conversation, I don't know if he remembers that, but once we had that conversation, for me, I realized, what, even though I'm excited about this, all my ducks are not quite in a row. And, I need to make some adjustments and I need to do some things first to make sure that my ducks are in a row and also to make sure that I'm meeting his expectations of reliability, of consistency, of quality. And I recall him saying to me, listen to a couple of shows, check out the network, check things out a bit, do a little research before you jump into this. And that is a lesson that Klarque Garrison taught me, and that's a lesson that I've learned, that you've got to really do your homework and just look at all of the aspects, look at all of the parameters, look at all of the perspectives of whatever it is that you are starting to do. And I truly believe that because of that, well, and I know because of that conversation, coming into this knowing consistency, quality, commitment, those are just a few of the things that in order to have a successful radio show or to anything successfully, you've got to be consistent. You have to have a game plan moving forward, sticking to that. I remember one of the other things was knowing your boundaries and what it is that you are willing to do. What are the things that you're not willing to do, or what are the topics that you are willing to discuss? What are the topics that you are not willing to discuss? So out of that came 6 years of radio for me. Not only 6 years of radio, but opportunities to do, oh my gosh, how many live remotes did we do together? Oh my gosh, we did a lot of live remotes together. I remember my first one on the red carpet with Wendell Pierce at the Atlanta Film Festival. I can't remember how many years ago. How many years ago was that? I can't remember how many years ago that was, but oh gosh, I was so nervous. And I drew a blank. I remember drawing a blank and asking Clark, okay, what do I ask him? What do I say? What's my name? But he was calm as a cucumber, and he gave me direction from behind the camera and kind of guided me, mentored me a bit on that. And just a great experience. Had the opportunity to interview Christy Paul from CNN at, I believe it was the Judson Group. We did a live remote there, and just being able to sit down with CNN's Christy Paul was truly, truly an honor to be able to do that. Statesman Thomas Dortch right here in the Atlanta area. Janice Bryant Howard. Oh my gosh, how many more did we do? Miss Robbie from Sweetie Pies, had the opportunity to interview her. Just a wonderful, beautiful lady. You know how you see somebody on television, and then when you meet them in person, your perspective is whoever it is that you see on television. But when you sit down and meet them in person, it's she really, really is a nice lady, a humble lady, really nice lady, just a family woman, and just had quite a journey, shared her experience, and shared some wisdom as well. Alfred Edmonds, you remember that, from Black Enterprise magazine? We did an interview at the Dream Project, I believe it was called, and we would always go, and Clark would set up the step and repeat, and the chairs and the cameras. He was just a genius when it came to that stuff. Just a genius when he came to that stuff. As far as the live remotes, filming the live remotes, later in photography, y'all know a lot of those photos that you see of me on social media, my website, those, and I put down at the bottom photo credit, Klarque Garrison. So you see that he just took some marvelous, marvelous photos. And then I believe there was one interview that we did of a young lady. This was probably the interview that just humbled me the most. Her name was Selvi, Selvi, at the Atlanta Film Festival. She had done. She was the first female cab driver in India. That's a big deal in India, the first female cab driver. And we got the chance to interview her. We had to interview her through a translator. She had her baby daughter with her, and the baby was a little fussy because she was struggling a little bit with jet lag because they had come from India. We went into the private showing because when you get a pass to go to the Atlanta Film Festival, that's another thing. And that's another thing, Klarque Garrison can get you into some stuff. Like, if you really wanted to be in the know and rub shoulders with folks, Klarque Garrison, yes, at the Plaza, at the Atlanta Film Festival, at the Plaza, Klarque Garrison could get you into events, get you on the red carpet, get you standing next to folks and interviewing folks that you would never imagine, you would never dream of. Had it not been for those opportunities, I would have never, ever had the opportunity to interview these people. But, oh, my gosh, Selvie, listening to her talk about becoming a taxi cab driver in India and just how proud she was of that and her journey of what she went through, the abuse that she had suffered at the hands, I believe, of her first husband, how she was able to get out of that marriage, then transition to train as a taxi cab driver. And I believe, I can't remember, Clark, but I believe she spoke of that in itself was life-threatening, and learning how to be a cab driver because she was the first one. And, you know, in India, women are just very restricted in what they can do and what they can't do. And for her to be able to do that and overcome that, and, you know, sitting there in her presence, I just felt a quiet strength. That's the best way I can describe it, was a quiet strength from this woman sitting and realizing that we were in the presence of this woman who really had been to hell and back, really, because what she shared of her past was so incredibly graphic and brutal. You wonder how this beautiful woman could be sitting there next to you. It was just truly, truly a humbling and experience, one I would not have had I not been under the tutelage of KG, Klarque Garrison and Survival Radio Network, having these opportunities for these live remotes. And in addition to those, oh my gosh, the many, many interviews on this radio station here on Survival Radio Network. So, Klarque, I love you, darling. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything that you have done for me on this journey. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are pursuing a journey, whenever you are stepping out on something that you love to do, to have someone who is talented, who is skilled, who is professional, who is caring, who is giving, who is patient, because Lord knows you need a lot of patience with PG. You know, to have someone like that to mentor you and to teach you so that you can become what it is that you desire to do is truly a blessing. And I have been blessed to have Klarque as that person for me and as that person in my life. So thank you so much, Klarque. I appreciate you. And also in the process of all this, I gained a friend, a sister, his wife, Jeri Garrison, just a beautiful, beautiful person, gifted person, a talented person. I call her, that's my woo-saw sister. I mean, she's taught me a whole lot about just, you know, relaxing and being at peace and just coexisting with some challenges in life. Just a graceful woman, a strong woman, and I appreciate her so much as well and all of her support over the years as well, just the two of them. Garrison Strong, that's what I say, Garrison Strong. I love you both. Thank you all so very much, and I appreciate you being with me on this journey and providing a platform for me on this journey. I just can't say that enough for you all. All right, well, we are going to take a break, listen to a little bit more music, pay some bills, and some commercials. And then when we come back on the flip side, I just want to share with you all a few thoughts on navigating through the season, Paula's perspective, essential care. I want to speak on that a little bit and leave you all with some encouragement. And then also how we will be transitioning with the Paula G Show, how we will be transitioning as Survival Radio Network will be going off air at the end of this month. It has been an incredible ride. I think I've been with the network about 6 years, but network has been in existence about 10 years or so, and just phenomenal radio programming. You all can go back out there on Blog Talk and look at all of the shows from the different hosts. At one point we had like 30-something, maybe 32 shows. At one point I think we had about 32 shows. Mike last week when he was on the bench, his show was on as well. Joyce White, my friend, I mentioned Joyce White. Cynthia Rogers is currently on Boob Talk with Cynthia Rogers. Gay Pope Hayton, PSA, has been riding with us for quite some time as well. Just a plethora of shows across the network. So we are just appreciative of this journey, appreciative of the experiences, all of the different people. I hate to start calling names because then, you start forgetting folks. I don't want to do that. But just an incredible journey. So we will be back on the flip side, talk a little bit more about navigating this journey and a few closing remarks and statements on this journey with Survival Radio Network. Klarque Garrison. We'll be back in a moment. I am voice talent Paula G, and I would love to be a resource for you. Whether it's an intro, an outro, a commercial, PSA, tag, or more, consider Paula G the next time you have an audition or voiceover need. Email paula@paulagvoice.com. And remember, it's the voice that counts.
Looking for a cafe with a home-like appeal where all who enter feel like they are part of something? Visit My Coffee Shop, located in Eastlake, Atlanta, Georgia. MCS has a full breakfast and lunch menu, offering both hot and cold options, and is home of the amazing basil lemonade. But don't forget their assortment of freshly brewed coffees. Come on by at 2462 Memorial Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30317. We're pretty sure My Coffee Shop at Eastlake will become your coffee shop, too.
Do you have tax issues, owe back taxes, or need tax relief? Contact L&B Tax Service today. L&B offers you over 15 years of expertise and first-class tax service for individuals, professionals, and business owners. With nationwide service, you can easily find a location near you. Contact one of our tax professionals through our website, lbtaxservice.com. That's www.lbtaxservice.com. L&B Tax Service Incorporated. Tax professionals that you can trust.
SRN Survival Radio Network.
Baby, I'm in love with you, and I like it, baby. I like every little thing you do. You make me feel alright. I think about you day and night. You got me running home, so you won't be alone, baby. You make me wanna scream. That's how good your love feels. Got me doing things I wouldn't do, 'cause you keep it so real. And you know what? I like it. I like it like that. I'm hooked, baby. I like it like that. I like it. I like it like that. Oh, baby, baby, baby. I like it like that.
And we are back. This is the Paula G Show right here on Survival Radio Network. And we've just been reminiscing this evening, as this is our last live broadcast, but certainly not our last show, as we'll be transitioning into rebroadcasting these shows. I will have them available every Wednesday evening on the Paula G Show group page on social media. So you can go to the Paula G Show group page at 8:30 on Wednesday evenings, and a show will be posted there for you to listen to if you forget if you're in Bible study, because I know a lot of y'all in Bible study. I'm not trying to interfere with your Bible study. A lot of you may be in Bible study. You can always go back to that page at any time. There will also be a playlist on my YouTube channel, the Apology Voice. There will be a playlist of the archive shows that you can also listen to as well. So we have a YouTube channel, Apology Voice. Make sure you subscribe. And the Apology Show group page, Facebook group page. And shows will also be rebroadcast on Positive Power 21, I believe on Tuesday evenings at 11, but I will post that on the group page so you all can check them out there as well. And I want to take a moment and thank Jeri Royce, who is the producer of my television show, My Journey with Paula G, on WATC TV 57 on Thursday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Thank him so very much for rebroadcasting the archive episodes of the Paula G Show on his network, Positive Power 21. They've also been so supportive. And, you know, when you talk about meeting good people and collaborating, our first live event here in the Atlanta area for My Journey with Paula G was a collaboration of Positive Power 21 with Jeri Royce Live and Survival Radio Network with Klarque Garrison at my coffee shop in East Lake. And I just, you know, that particular day, I just felt so incredibly blessed to have these two powerhouses in media come together to assist with the production of my television show. So I'm grateful to both of them respectfully as well. So what do we have? Positive Power 21, I believe it's Tuesdays 11 p.m. The show will be airing YouTube channel on YouTube, Paula G Voice. Will be a playlist, the Paula G Show, and my group page at 8:30. So we're not missing a beat. And you know, it's this evening is rather bittersweet because Lord knows I have loved this journey. I love the Garrisons, love just the connection and the friendship and all of the experiences. But also, as I have shared with you all over time and in some of Paula's perspectives, throughout life, we constantly have changes. We constantly have obstacles. We constantly have storms. You all know with what we're dealing with right now, if you're listening to this during this current season of COVID-19 and during this current season of injustice and racial unrest and police brutality, you know. But even if you're listening to this on the other side, you know, I always say as long as you're living and breathing, life happens, and it doesn't always happen in the manner in which you would like it to. It can change overnight. Your life can change in the blink of an eye. And I know we've all experienced that to one degree or another. And when that change occurs, we've got two choices. One, we can just give up, or we can figure out what it is that we need to figure out to move forward to make the best of our new norm or a new change, or however we decide to, however we label it. It may not necessarily be what we want. It may not necessarily be what we desire, like any of those things. But we do what we can do to make the best of what it is. We do what we can do to make the best of what it is. So I want you all to keep that in mind, that as we go through this journey, and it's so interesting because the Paula's Perspective Essential Care, that was recorded maybe 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago, and at the time I can't even recall what the situation was going on in the country, but it was a situation nowhere near what we're going through now, but it was a situation where we were all reeling. We were all dealing with it one way or another, and it was affecting a lot of people psychologically. And I recorded that 4 years ago, not realizing how very relevant it would still be today. Some of the segments of it might not necessarily be relevant, but just overall how relevant it is and how when we're in these seasons, when we're in the midst of, these stormy seasons of our life, how it is so important for us to take care of ourselves. It's important for us to take care of ourselves. It's important for us to put that oxygen mask on ourselves. We may have others that we're having to take care of. We may have situations that have changed that we have to take care of, and we have to make adjustments. Our lives have been uprooted. Our lives have been changed. This whole situation with the COVID-19 and sheltering in place, and some of us losing our jobs and having to stay home, and the kids are home, and our lives have been turned upside down. But in the midst of it, in order for us to navigate through, in order for us to get through, we've got to pause. We've got to hit the pause button, and we've got to take a moment and take care of ourselves, and not think it robbery and not think it's selfish to do so, because it is not. We have to take care of ourselves in order to be strong, in order to be there for others, to support others, and take care of others as well. And in the process, we may have to reinvent ourselves. What we used to do, there may not be room for that anymore. There are a lot of jobs that people have lost as a result of this current pandemic, and some people are having to reinvent themselves, reinvent what it is that they do, and reinvent how they do it. Some people have been laid off, and some have actually taken those skills that they used to go to a 9-to-5 job. They're now taking those skills and remolding those skills and starting their own businesses. So, there are instances in life where we need to reinvent ourselves. We need to restructure our lives, and as we continue to navigate through this thing called life. With the season that we're in now, a lot of times people will say, well, when the pandemic is over, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, we don't know when it's going to be over. It could be over in a few months. It could be over in a few years. We don't know, so we can't wait for over to occur. We've got to act now and make those adjustments now. And a few things, I've been listening to just a lot of different resources as I myself am navigating the season, as I myself am reinventing myself and my brand and what Paula G will look like in regard to radio as we make this transition from Survival Radio Network and doing these live shows for the last 6 wonderful years. There are a lot of things that need to occur on the journey. I have a guest that would like to come on and share with us a little bit. Good evening. You may need to press 1. Yes, hello.
How are you?
I am fabulous. I woke up this morning. And
Amen.
Who do we? I know. and I know who we're speaking to, but the audience may not know who we're speaking to.
Okay. Well, we should tell them. This is Jeri Garrison, wife of Klarque Garrison, and I am glad to be here. Just wanted to just drop in. We've been listening, Klarque and I, and just want to drop in and let you know how much we appreciate you. It's been wonderful listening and reminiscing on a lot of the events, whether it was the SRN Live events, the Atlanta Film Festival events, whether it was doing some click stuff, whatever you lend your talents to, even with the Locks project that you guys had going on. I just wanted to let you know how much we truly I truly appreciate you just being a part of this brand and help building this brand. And as you were just speaking and sharing with everyone about seasons and how seasons change, one of the reasons that we have SRN in the first place was because back in 2009, we were experiencing the collapse of our housing market, and that sparked this journey within Klarque, and he wanted to create a project. At that time, it was his book, How to Survive the Next 365, where he went and he interviewed people in the industry of real estate, because he was a real estate investor. And he just kind of wanted to get their opinions on how they made it through that particular time. And as he created those stories, he created that book on how to survive the next 365, which evolved into his own very own blog talk radio show, which then evolved to the network, the Survival Radio Network, and the collaborative effort of bringing all the different talents who had their own voices to lend within their own professional industries has just made it a beautiful journey. I am so glad that you've been a part of this journey. I'm so grateful to you for your patience, whether it was you just being willing to wear that blazer that he came up with. Said,
I remember that blazer, yes.
Blazer on, and Jeri, hey, let's go to the Goodwill and find blazers so we can put these logos on this blazer. Yes. I just really appreciate you for taking this brand as far as you've helped to take it from you joining us 6 years, and that was 4 years into this journey to now. So I appreciate you for everything that you've done. I appreciate you for all of your support through our season and what we've been through this year long, and just wanted to let you know how proud we are of you and that we are going to continue to follow your journey as well, and we're just very grateful for you. And that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't take up of your time.
No, ma'am, not at all. We're just chilling tonight. We're just talking tonight, and we're just chilling. It's not at all. And I'm so glad that you came on and shared. And I remember those jackets. I like my jacket. I was able to sport my jacket. I like, yes, but also because you were there a lot of the times too. You know, you were there, and just from the beginning, and just, you know, your input, and, you know, all of it that you have done, and just, you know, standing by Klarque and the support, and, you know, oftentimes, you know, we talk about relationships, and I always like to pause and share with the audience, encourage the audience, because people are always talking about relationships and struggling in relationships and so forth. And, you know, you have been yourself a champion. I had a show on Monday night, and I was talking to a young man. He was talking about his, I believe she's now his wife, and how she's stuck with him through everything. And, you know, I always have this term I refer to, the shotgun spouse. You know, that spouse that rides shotgun, that's there no matter what. That rides, you know, that ride or die, you know.
Yes.
Yes,
and
do
that's not to say that the journey is not always as pretty and pristine as you would like it to be, but it's worth it.
Yes. It's worth it. Yes, exactly. So you have been there, and you have been that person. And you've also had your own journey with, you know, some of the projects and things that you've been a part of. I remember when you were part of the movie Hidden Figures.
Yes, several movies in the Atlanta film industry. I've done, like as you stated, Hidden Figures, and I was also one of the regulars on Greenleaf, which aired this 5th and final season last night on the OWN network. Yes, and one of the biggest secrets of SRN that people may not know is that I too was a host. I'm one of the shortest running hosts on the network, but I had a show.
Shortest running host?
Yes, one and done. Vino Noir. That's because I realized that we were going to either be a married couple or I was going to be a host, and I couldn't do both because, you know, he's a type A personality, and it was like, okay, did you do your show doc? I didn't get your show doc, and I'm like, you know what? I quit. So if you ever go out there and you have time to look it up, I can't even remember what year it was. I want to say it was like 2012, but it was. I started the wine show, and the first show, I would have to say it was pretty good. We had a local sommelier come in, and I had great ideas. It's just that I just knew I would have to choke Klarque if I kept that show going. So I ended that show after the first week.
After, you know, I'm going to go out and look. Now, you know what? After 6 years, this is the first time I have heard that Jeri Garrison had a show, y'all.
I was so excited and proud about that show, and I had researched, how I wanted to lay it out and what I wanted to bring to my audience, but it just, it just did not come to be because I knew we were not. You know what his personality is. We were not gonna make it living in this house, and he's making me do all these show docs, and I got to do this.
Show docs.
Huh?
And you didn't turn in your show doc 48 hours in advance, I might add.
Yes. Yes.
Oh gosh, that is a good one. That is a good memory. But even there, see, from the beginning, you were willing to be a part of the journey and part of the process. But like you said, you got boundaries. You got to be able to coexist. Can't do both.
Right. Exactly. Yes. And then because at that time, I think that's when he was doing those Saturday morning trainings, and I was not. No, I couldn't get up for the Saturday morning trainings, and plus I needed to make sure the kids were in place and that they did all of their Saturday morning stuff. And you want me to do? Okay, no.
No. I said this is not gonna work.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Well, do you have any words of wisdom, encouragement, anything else that you would like to share with the audience? I'm so glad you jumped on this evening.
No, I just I think again what I would reiterate is that his purpose and the reason why he started this network was to ensure that collaborative minds came together to work together during a time like this, because again it started during the season of the crashing of the housing market. So I think this is a perfect button on that journey in making sure that, hey, let's figure out we're back at ground zero again. This is why we started. We're finishing. This is why we're finishing. Let's regroup. Let's figure out what that next journey is for us and what our next season is. It's not a goodbye. It's just a see you later. We're regrouping, and I think that is a great way to end. And I think you just nailed it. That just like amen. The doors of the church are open. Pass the plate. We love everybody, all of those that have listened throughout the years, all of those that supported, whether you were someone who brought people to the network and to our shows, because we remember Cat's Cafe when we were doing our SRN Lives there, whether you were there, whether you were performing, we just appreciate you for the support and the journey throughout this journey.
Yes, and prayerfully one day we can get all of those people together, because I think it would be one of those speechless moments, because when you're doing and you're grinding and you're going and you're doing show after show and live event after live event, you don't realize just how much you have under your belt until you look back and say, wow. Because even as I was preparing for this and I was looking back, because there were some names that I still didn't even mention, look back at how many collaborations occurred and how many people we connected with. So hopefully, prayerfully one day
at the coffee shop, the coffee loft, when we did the coffee loft. And that pretty much, it birthed a new, it kind of took SRN, the network, to a different phase of how we did our business, because I think that was when SRN Live was born from those talks. Yeah, the expressions to call those.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Well, thank you again so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing this. And again, thank you for your support. And I just look forward to see what's next on your journey.
Well, thank you so much. And we love you, Jeri. We love you, Klarque. And I just thank you so much for this. I just thank you so much for this opportunity as well. And, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely stay connected, and I'll definitely be posting on our page because we would like to, at some point, we don't know when, but at some point have some sort of event or recognition to bring all of those individuals together who were a part of this Survival Radio Network journey. We thank each and every one of you as our journey continues. I think Jeri said it very eloquently as far as, it's not goodbye. It's just, we transition into the next phase, and we're transitioning to the next level. So thank you all so very much for being a part of this journey. It continues just on a different level. I always leave you with this thought. The greatest conversation that you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? We love you. Thank you, Rosalind. We love you. Thank you. And we're going to close this evening with a song that we closed with for much of the years that we have been on Survival Radio Network. This young man is no stranger to Survival Radio Network. He has been on my show, Klarque Show, other shows, and just an amazing, amazing artist. His name is Heston, and I leave you with Dear God. Until next time, we love you. Embrace the journey.
Whoa. Child. Why'd you wake me up so early this morning? Seems like the world was fast asleep. Or is it that you knew that my heart was open? And that you wanted me to be still? Seems like we've been playing tug of war. I lose, you win. Yeah, my heart is open. I'm begging you, please come in. You're a great God, a healer, a friend when I need you. Alpha, Omega, beginning, the end. Head of my table, you tried, only you are able. There, God, please take the wheel. I'm heading your way. When the rain poured down outside my galvanized window, was that you washing my sins away? And when the rooster crowed oh so early this morning, was that you telling me it's time to raise? I don't claim to be the best believer. I don't claim, no. With that I struggle every day. But one thing I know is I feel you tugging, gently nudging me away. You're a great God, a healer, a friend when I need you. Alpha, Omega, beginning, the end. Head of my table, you try, only you are able. There, God, please take the wheel. I'm heading your way. I feel a change coming. Getting closer every day. can lose. I feel a change coming. It's deeper than it's ever been. You're the great God and healer, friend when I need you. Alpha, Omega, beginning, the end. Head of the table,